this meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody else, please. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Donahue.
Here.
Donahue here. Hawley.
Here.
Hawley here. Farnwell. Farnwell absent. Osling. Osling here. Thompson.
Here.
Thompson here. Carr.
Here.
Carr here. Pittman.
Here.
Pittman here. Slattery.
Here.
Slattery here. Poulos.
Here.
Poulos here. Johnson.
Here.
Johnson here. Frausto.
Here.
Frausto here. Bellato.
Here.
Bellato here. Vieta.
Here.
Vieta here. Vita.
Here.
Vita here. 13 present.
Thank you much. We move on to number 4, presentation of journal proceedings. I need a motion to approve the city council minutes for the date of February 27, 2018. A motion by Alderman Poulos. Do I have a second? By Alderman Slattery. All in favor? Roll call.
Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Osling.
Aye.
Osling, aye. Thompson.
Aye.
Thompson, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Pittman.
Aye.
Pittman, aye. Slattery.
Aye.
Slattery, aye. Poulos.
Aye.
Poulos, aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Frausto. Frausto, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Vieta. Vieta, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. 13 ayes.
Thank you very much. For the next few minutes, again, it's open to public comment to what's on the agenda. I will give you 3 minutes. Anyone? I need your name and address, please.
Carol DePace Green, 2731 Orchard Street, Blue Island. I did notice on tonight's agenda, there's a payroll amount for nearly $750,000. I hope somebody in this room will ask a question about why it is so much. I'm counting on you, Freddie. Counting on you. Dexter, counting on you. Counting on you. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you. I've never seen a figure that's high before. And I've never seen a figure that large. So it's.
Ms. Green, just.
Thank you. Somebody ask a question.
Anyone else? Move on to the report of city officials, presentation resolutions. I have a proclamation. Go down there.
Is this proclamation worth the attention that I'm going to give it? And I think we should all pay very close attention to this proclamation because it involves members of our community. Whereas Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month reminds the public to bring awareness and to educate and respect people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Whereas as an effective way to increase awareness is by participating in community activities with the disabled, people with learning about disabilities and acknowledging every individual's contribution to our community. And whereas people are encouraged to shift their thinking from trying to fix a disability and instead focus on supporting individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Whereas rather than telling individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities what they should do, we should ask them what they would like to do for their community and look for ways to support their efforts. And whereas we treat everyone with dignity, respect, and kindness, we will continue to spread awareness, educate, and respect throughout our communities, schools, and workplaces so that all people, and I repeat, all people are embraced. And whereas each and every one of us can honor our diversity and contribute to making Blue Island a better place to live. Now therefore I, Domingo F. Vargas, Mayor of the City of Blue Island, do hereby proclaim March the 23rd, 2018 as Intellectual and Developmental Disability Awareness Day, and encourage all our citizens to work together to promote and increase awareness and understanding of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We need a roll call. Motion by Alderman Bellato, second by Alderman Dexter Johnson. Roll call.
Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Holly.
Aye.
Holly, aye. Osling.
Aye.
Osling, aye. Thompson.
Aye.
Thompson, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Pittman.
Aye.
Pittman, aye. Slattery.
Aye.
Slattery, aye. Poulos.
Aye.
Poulos, aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Frausto.
Aye.
Frausto, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Vieta.
Aye.
Vieta, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. 13 ayes.
Thank you very much. City Clerk's business.
Yes, I have one item this evening, Your Honor. It's a motion to approve a request from American Legion Post 50 to have their annual Poppy Days on Friday and Saturday, March 18th and 19th, with rain days of Friday and Saturday, May 25th and 26th.
Got a motion by Alderman Pittman, second by Alderman Rita. Any questions? Roll call.
Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Osling.
Aye.
Osling, aye. Thompson.
Aye.
Thompson, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Pittman.
Aye.
Pittman, aye. Slattery.
Aye.
Slattery, aye. Poulos.
Aye.
Poulos, aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Frausto.
Aye.
Frausto, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Vieta.
Aye.
Vieta, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. 13 ayes.
Thank you very much. Any bids?
No bids.
City Treasurer.
Yes, Your Honor. Everyone of the aldermen should have received the reciprocation statement ending February 28th, 2018. Need a motion for that?
A motion by Alderman Donahue, second by Alderman Osling. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Osling. Osling, aye. Thompson. Thompson, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Pittman.
Aye.
Pittman, aye. Slattery.
Aye.
Slattery, aye. Poulos.
Aye.
Poulos, aye. Johnson.
No.
Johnson, no. Frausto.
Aye.
Frausto, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Vieta.
Aye.
Vieta, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. 12 ayes and 1 no.
Thank you very much.
Second item is moving of restricted funds and non-restricted funds to the general fund.
Do you need a motion?
Yes.
Motion by Alderman Osling. Do we have a second? By Alderman Donahue. Any questions? Alderman Carr?
Treasurer, just so that people understand, that $1 million from Beverly Corporate, the Illinois funds, could you explain that?
That's basically taking money out of the general fund that the taxes are coming in readily now. That'll just be sitting there, not getting any minimal interest rate. Moving it to the Illinois fund, which has a higher yield per day, actually, because the interest rate fluctuates every day. It's a higher yield, trying to get the most out of the money at the interest rate. And that'll be used as we need it, that'll come out of there. Okay? And out of that million, approximately 250,000 of it will be, hopefully, be on reserves to pay the tax anticipation warrant, which is in September, and of September.
Any other questions, Alderman?
No, thank you.
Any other questions for the Alderman? Roll call.
Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Osling.
Aye.
Osling, aye. Thompson. Thompson, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Pittman.
Aye.
Pittman, aye. Slattery.
Aye.
Slattery, aye. Poulos.
Aye.
Poulos, aye. Johnson.
No.
Johnson, no. Frausto.
Aye.
Frausto, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Vieta.
Aye.
Vieta, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. 12 ayes and 1 no.
Thank you very much. Anything else?
One other thing I want to make a comment, as I said 2 weeks ago, last council meeting, I would make a statement concerning the appropriation, or basically what constituents are referring to as the treasurer. The treasurer is basically foundation, is to check the money coming in, check the money going out. The treasurer is as an administration, part of the administration, has input when asked to have input on the appropriation or in general any other financial decisions. That's only a suggestion or opinion. Okay? So the answer to this constituents about golf course, the constituent paying the golf courses, constituents are paying for the water they receive. The water they receive is what they're getting paid, charged for and paid for. Not for the golf course. That's a different issue. And we've been trying to resolve the golf course for the past few years. Okay? To the issues of getting openness and clarity of everything to come in, we have a CPA in-house that overlooks all transactions. It's better than it's ever been before. We're transparent. Any questions you want, any information you want, can be accounted for. As long as I sit here, it's going to be done correctly. That's why I'm giving you these statements of transferring money from restricted funds and non-restricted funds. And the alderman should have also got a 2-sheet paper that's now every 2 weeks the collector's going to be giving me what income comes from the collector's office, prior to going to the finance department. Now, if you want to keep track of all these things, alderman, that's your choice. But the information is coming out. And once it's in the packet, it's also open to the public. So it's open. If you have questions, it's nice to call either the finance director or the treasurer or your alderman and bring the question so they can come back around and give you an answer. And if you don't get an answer, then there's a link that's missing. Okay, finally, my concern with the appropriation. Appropriation, as Mr. Marzell said, is basically an appropriation. So it's a wish list. But we, as City of Lyon, have been using appropriation / budget for as long as I can tell. At least 15, 20 years, at least. Okay? The appropriation is based on what the departments need and what we think we may be able to do with that if the money comes in. It doesn't mean it's going to be guaranteed payout. But my concern is this. As Mr. Marzell said, that's roughly 33.5. My concern is, at approximately ball figure, we take in 26 million. Okay? So those two numbers are my concern. I would have loved to have a more of a closer budget. As Mr. Marzell said, it's not. It's not a balanced budget. I would have liked to see a balanced budget as a treasurer. Okay? My other concern is we're in negotiations with all the unions. When you sit at negotiations, and I've sat in a couple of them, not a lot of them, not in the city, but in the teachers' union, they look at the appropriation or your budget. And if it comes down to what called an arbitrator, the arbitrator is going to look at the appropriation. So, in one way, I'm concerned because it puts us in a weaker situation. Okay? The other thing is that we have a big debt in the fire and police pension, which has not been addressed, additional to what we do with the levies. The levy is one thing. That money goes directly from the county to the fire and police pension. Additional to that, it's not being appropriated. We have a lot of issues in Blue Island. A lot of issues. And this corporate authority has a lot of hard decisions to make. The administration, which consists of Randy, the mayor, myself, the directors, it's all part of the discussion and collaboration to have a strategy in place. But sometimes there isn't any. And that's where the downfall is. Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen.
City Attorney?
Yes, there's one matter. It's a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement providing for the establishment of the Natalie Creek Trail.
Need a motion? Anybody? Alderman Carr, second by Alderman Donahue. You have a question? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Horvath. Where's this trail at in Blue Island? Is there specifics on there?
Where is it in Blue Island?
Yeah, or is it just a general?
It's going to And that, according to the intergovernmental agreement for the trail system, I don't know if it's going to add any actual trails in the city of Blue Island. I believe in Blue Island, if there's any trail at all, it's assisting roadway.
Let me get, Mr. Miller, come on up.
The trail's actually coming out of the Midlothian, Natalie Creek, that's coming up. The trail's coming from Midlothian, Natalie Creek's in Midlothian. Basically what it's going to do is connect, it's going to run through Robbins up to Old Western. That's where it'll stop. So it doesn't actually, sure.
And no cost for us, it's just connecting.
It's just a connection.
Mark,
Yes.
is this part of the CalSag Trail
Yes.
project?
Yeah. Thank you, Carrie.
So you make a second? Yeah. Okay. Roll call, please.
Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Holly.
Aye.
Holly, aye. Osling. Osling, aye. Thompson. Thompson, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Pittman.
Aye.
Pittman, aye. Slattery.
Aye.
Slattery, aye. Pulos.
Aye.
Pulos, aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Frausto.
Aye.
Frausto, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Vieta. Vieta, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. 13 ayes.
Thank you very much. Committee reports, Community Development Committee.
Our report, Your Honor, our next meeting will be on Thursday, April 5th, here in the City Council chambers.
Thank you very much. Finance Committee.
Finance meeting was called to order on March 6, 2018 at 7 o'clock. The members present, Alderman Hawley, Alderman Farnwell, Alderman Vieira, Alderman Frosto, Alderman Thompson, and Alderman Osborne. Also present, Treasurer Bellato, Mike Marzell, Director of Finance and Administration, Lori Brown, Deputy Chief of Finance, Sarah Brown, Chamber, Alderman Slattery and Son, Alderman Bellato, Eli from Tenochtitlan Pond, Kevin O'Connell, Tom Cheadle, Larry Gretto, Mark Bastiglione, and Eric Wenberg. Under public comment, Alicia Slattery commented on place of eatery tax, as did owners of Maple Tree Inn, Damasty Catering, Double Play, Pub Time, Sarah Brown of the Chamber, and Alderman Frosto all voiced opinions against. Finance Committee approved the following. Accounts payable for March 14, 2018 in the amount of $749,639.77. I make a motion to City Council to accept.
There's a motion. Do I have a second? By Alderman Tom Hawley. Is there any questions? Mr. Bellato, Alderman Bellato.
Just to address the concerns about the high payout, can you run off the major ones that were in there?
One of the biggest was the Gallagher asphalt for $263,198.40. You should have all gotten this in your packet.
Yeah, I'm just.
Did you get it? Okay.
That was for street resurfacing, right?
Yeah.
Do we know what street it was?
Offhand.
130.
135th.
135th Street? So that was for resurfacing 135th Street, that larger portion. Just trying to address the concern.
I believe it's a transfer.
Yep.
Ms. Brown?
Alderman, that was out of tip two.
Tip 2. All right. Any other questions?
Health insurance is paid.
Yeah, the health insurance was also a big one. That was
175,000.
So there was a couple big bills that we don't always have at this time.
Thank you, Chairman.
Any other questions?
Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Holly.
Aye.
Holly, aye. Osling.
Aye.
Osling, aye. Thompson.
Aye.
Thompson, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Pittman.
Aye.
Pittman, aye. Slattery.
No.
Slattery, no. Pulos.
Aye.
Pulos, aye. Johnson.
No.
Johnson, no. Frausto.
Aye.
Frausto, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Vieta.
Aye.
Vieta, aye. Rita.
No.
Rita, no. 10 ayes. 3 no.
Thank you very much.
The payroll was also approved for February 23rd, 2018 in the amount of $384,885.16. I make that in a form of a motion to City Council to accept.
Motion, do I have a second by Alderman Vieira? Any questions? Roll call, please.
Donahue?
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Holly?
Aye.
Holly, aye. Osling?
Aye.
Osling, aye. Thompson?
Aye.
Thompson, aye. Carr?
Aye.
Carr, aye. Pittman?
Aye.
Pittman, aye. Slattery?
Aye.
Slattery, aye. Pulos? Pulos, aye. Johnson?
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Fausto?
Aye.
Fausto, aye. Bellato?
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Vieta?
Aye.
Vieta, aye. Rita?
Aye.
Rita, aye. 13 ayes.
I need to make a motion to approve the ordinance providing an appropriation for the corporate purpose for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2018 and ending December 31st, 2018.
Have a motion, do I have a second by Alderman Tom Holly? Any questions? Alderman?
Thank you, Mayor. Could Mr. Marzell come up, please? Sure. We can direct our questions towards him. Thanks, Mike. So first, I guess as I started your department, I noticed that everyone's getting a 2% raise, non-union employees in the finance department, and then there's a 5K difference. What's that 5K difference going towards? So it should be with all your salaries getting a 2% raise, which I have a question on as well, but it should be 238,142, and listed we have it as 243.
Are you in account for?
Sorry, I'm in Finance Department 402, line 5100.
5100. Yes, as was stated earlier, the city is in negotiations with all three of our unions. For appropriations purposes, we needed to throw a number in there. We did put 2% in there. No raises have been given out to any union or non-union employees at this time. For the $5,000 difference, I would defer to Lori, who has our backup documents and the laptop. I don't recall what that is off the top of my head, but Lori may be able to pull that up.
Okay. Well, while she's doing that, I have a question. So with the 2% raise, I guess this is towards Mr. Horvath. Since Mr. Marzell's salary is set at appointment, will he be able to receive any type of raise without being reappointed to a different salary? I'm sorry, so on 5100, and this is just specifying one, I'm just talking, like, say the fire chief salary, Mr. Marzell's salary, the police chief, since they're set at an appointed position, an appointed salary, that salary can't change higher or lower.
Higher or lower than what?
Than what the city council voted on in the appointment. So we approved Mr. Marzell at $87,500.14.
According to the appropriation, it looks like there may be a raise in there.
No. There's set salaries.
So, but that's what I'm just trying to specify, that he just can't give himself a raise, or he can't be part of it. Just not him, I'm just using, just.
You as a city council would have to approve it.
Sorry, okay.
Does that answer your question?
That does, no, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't understand the question.
Sorry, no, thank you. I have a lot of questions, actually, so. So back on page 1, the mayor's office, 5530, we have city official expenses, and I know we lined out everyone else's expenses, but this one I noticed still stays for $1,200. So the city clerk was lined out to 0, the city treasurer was lined out to 0, but this one stayed at $1,200.
Yes, you are correct. For all the aldermen, city clerk, we did roll the city expenses, city official expenses into their baseline salary. It appears that we did not do that for the mayors.
Well, it looks like the mayor's was done $33,600 is what his is supposed to be, but he's still receiving this extra $1,200.
I would want to look at the detail of what we spent it on last year, but that could be for various conferences, trainings, publications that are beyond what those normal expenses would be.
Even though there's already line items for meetings and seminars, travel.
There could be various things that come up. We want to leave a number in there for any various miscellaneous expenses.
So next, I want to go to 409 general administration. And I understand we moved some full-time salaries out of there. And there's one full-time salary, I'm going to assume, or I'm going to ask, is this Mark Miller's salary?
Yes, it is.
So is he getting a $17,000 raise, or who's getting the $17,000? Because his salary right now is $53,646, and we have it listed at $70,000.
Again, I'm going to defer to Lori. I have the detail pulled up in front of her. I don't have up the laptop.
Yeah, I'll wait. If someone else wants to go, I can wait for mine.
You got a question?
Yeah, I just, well, she's pulling it up, I could wait, so if someone else wants to go.
Go ahead.
All right, under the police department, just a clarification, under account number 410, we're increasing the overtime from $500, or the actual amount of $5,000, to $34,000. Is there reason for that?
Yes, there is. When we transitioned and moved our 911 center to Cook County and Orland Fire Protection District, we had to man the police department 24/7 with civilian clerks, and associated with that would be estimated overtime as we're manning that department now 24/7.
All right, thank you. Under the,
Go ahead. Alderman Carr, go ahead.
While in the police department, why was the allowance for uniforms taken out completely?
The reason the uniform allowance was taken out under, I believe it's federal guidelines, those uniforms have to be taxed at a certain dollar amount. Let me just go to this really quick. And we are making a change to how we do the uniforms as part of the union negotiations.
Alderman Slider?
So if you're in the union negotiations, how can you just completely wipe it out? Actually, my other question would be, if you're in negotiations with the police, the fire, and finance department, how can we even put a budget through if the police department's gonna come and, ask for X amount of dollar raise, and the fire department's gonna ask for X amount of dollar raise? How can we even do an appropriation if stuff is incomplete?
Again, the appropriations is the general wish list plus what we have budgeted for. We needed to put a budgeted number in. I'm hoping that those numbers come in lower, and which would help our budget situation.
Alderman Vega?
On page 25, you're at 550 for the golf course.
Yes.
Why is there an additional new full-time position for the golf course? Because last year the actual was 66,536, and this year is 137,000.
Yes, a couple things happened during 2017, and we're looking to do in 2018. During 2017, we had one part-time employee that transitioned to become a full-time employee. And then in addition, in 2018, what we are looking to do is to create a position of recreation manager that would oversee both the golf course and John D. Rita Recreation Center.
Why? Why?
Let me add this, and I'm going to make this comment. I wasn't going to make it, but I'm going to make it because I already have it here. So you don't think I'm making it up. The golf course, many have expressed concern to me personally or through the Boylan's infamous grave line over the financial viability of the golf course. So I've been looking into the possibility of privatization of the golf course, and will continue to do so. Unfortunately, I have not completed that report, and I'm looking into that. So those are things that we're looking into. That the city would then privatize the golf course. That's another idea out there. So as you see, it isn't because of the comments today, I already had it. We've already been thinking about that. We're in the process of trying to get numbers. Go ahead, Mr. President.
Alderman Donahue, I just spoke with Lori. The salaries for General Administration 409, that also includes our blue cap employees that come and do cleaning of our facilities.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Wouldn't that be under the part-time? Because there's a part-time line item for $32,000. I would assume the blue cap employees, I'm just asking, this is one full-time position the person that's in that position makes $53,000 and we have it at $70,000. So is someone else getting a large raise, or is Mr. Miller? And if Mike's getting a large raise, that's fine. But if someone else is getting $17K, I think, and we're trying to play budget tricks and do what Governor Rauner does and spread the money out elsewhere, is someone getting a $17K raise that's you're trying to hide it?
No. No one is getting a $17,000 raise.
Because there's $17,000 that's unaccounted for in one full-time salary.
The taxpayers will pay it.
No comment, please. No discussion. Alderman Maldonado.
Back into the general administration where we're just at 409 account, more of a curiosity, because I don't know what it is. Maybe it is just moving from one line item to another. The 7072 and the 7072 is in there twice, one for $50,000 and one for $45,000 under abandoned house expense.
Yes, Mark really knows a little bit more about this program. Mark, if you want to stand up. This is a program that is administered through
Housing development.
and this is a program where we are budgeting to have $50,000, which would allow the city to take down 15 abandoned homes, and then we get reimbursed through this program. Now, in addition to that, there is legal fees, which each one of the homes that we have to...
No, I'm familiar.
Okay.
We just did one
Okay.
Vermont. I just was curious, why is it on here on twice, under the operating totals and then through, it's listed under grant and then operating totals, correct?
Yes,
Twice.
one is for the legal expenses and one is for the amount to actually demolition the home.
But the actuals, coincidentally, 4135 in both, and I didn't know if that was an oversight or something. It's exactly the same in both, $4,135.
That's for the 2017 actual.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Under the police account 410, account 8050, it says vehicles 105,000. We didn't spend any of that last year, and we increased it to 120. I'm assuming that's cars or something.
Yes, and that's under contingency. That is what we would like to do. It's realistic, however, that may not happen.
And the radios and radio equipment, 186,000.
Yes, that was discussed during public safety. Our Cook County radios are reaching end of life, and we will have to have an expense to replace those.
Alderman Rivera.
Under 423, emergency management, it appears that is new to this year. And it's for $51,750.
Yes.
Is that creating another position as well?
No, that is not. That is for, the most significant is the other contractual, that is for Don Marchbanks, who runs the emergency management EMA for Blue Island. Previously, those monies have been...
I think it used to be 12,000. I thought it was.
There were also other contractuals that his salary in addition to other contractuals.
And what is it?
Don, if you can step up, I don't recall what we discussed during those meetings.
Well, I believe 12,000 of that is my salary. That's 14,000. And that 14,000, that was, I'm looking at, that was training, expenses to go out for trainings, other equipment. It wasn't, didn't fall under the other line items.
Essentially, EMA has been operating on a shoestring budget for a number of years. We sat down and went through what they need for this year to be a fully functioning arm of the city of Blue Island. There are things between horses and lights and flashers, and a lot of this is going to be one-time expenses. And
some of those we will have to go outside of this normal purchasing to secure those. So that's what we are contractual for, it's both Don's salary and addition to those.
Alderman Donahue?
Thank you, Mayor. So you mentioned that then possibly this new recreation golf manager position, and I didn't notice a salary for that, but do you have it in the idea of $68,500?
I believe that's about the range.
So when I got that, because in that new golf course salary is $51,000, and then the rec center, there's another
Yeah.
$17,000. So again, when I brought up like the budget gimmicks and the trick, that's a budget gimmick. There's not a position created, you're taking money from two different places to create a new position. So, that's all, I was just making a statement, thank you.
Alderman Lau?
Under the 911 department, 414, I see that we blanked out, which is expected, most of the appropriations. But the unemployment, 5610, it was zero before, zero actual, but 63,800. But I was told in the previous meeting they've all found jobs.
That is not accurate. We do have a couple that did not find other employment and are currently on unemployment.
Thank you.
Yes, just have one question within this same department. Obviously, we outsourced 911, our 911 center, but I do see salaries full-time, it's still at, my assumption was that it was going to be zeroed out, but it's set at 31,850. Is that in correlation with what you mentioned earlier for full-time civilian that has to be?
No, that is for the final payout of accrued but unused vacation time that we were paying in fiscal year 2018.
That 409, back to Alderman Donahue.
Alderman Donahue, she's responding to your question.
On the 409 was Mark Miller and the payout to Andrea Truffle for her final.
Got it. Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Alderman Carr?
Under the police department 410, we've got a loan for $67,400. Why are we taking out a loan?
That is repayment of a loan that was taken out in previous years.
But there was no appropriation for that in 17. If that's a loan repayment, I would assume that we've been repaying it.
I would want to check with our loan repayment schedule, that would be a new loan. That is 410-7120, loan principal.
Okay, those are, we originally we were going to put the police loan under the IFA bond for the police cars, but we were able to secure a loan with Beverly Bank instead, not using the IFA, trying to use that for future roads or sewer projects. So that is the principal and interest for 2018 on that police loan, not using the IFA loan, using the Beverly.
And those include how many vehicles?
4.
4 squads that are right now on the street.
That's the principal and interest quarterly that we paid for 2018.
Okay, where was the IFA loan?
It's still there. We haven't used it all yet. It'll have to be used in 2018.
I thought that when we filled out the paperwork for the IFA loan, that it all had to be listed and everything had to be accounted for.
It's an ongoing budget. Everything that has been paid out to us has been accounted for, but we haven't used it all yet.
Under account 420, fire department, this is something I just recently noticed right now, and I'm probably assuming what it already is, but this is machinery and equipment, $1.9 million in the fire department budget. Account number 420.
Yes, that's under, again, contingencies. The fire department's going to need a new quint and a new engine in the future. We want to show that so that when we do have to purchase those two new pieces of equipment, the council will not be surprised by those numbers. Those numbers are not, most likely, unless something catastrophic happens, we're most likely not purchasing a quint or an engine this year.
Thank you. Alderman?
Yes, 497, the rec center. I'm just looking at a few of the items, this question, Mike. I thought part of this stuff's supposed to be split with the intergovernmental agreement with the Park District. Some of these things I came out of my own pocket with, office supplies, mulch, paper clips, pencils, glue, crayons, and I made copies myself. So I'm just saying, you know, there's supposed to be an intergovernmental agreement with Park District. I'm looking at figures like for rentals, because we don't really rent them ourselves, you know what I mean? So is that the Park District, what they got, or?
I'm sorry, what item?
I'm sorry, 497, and we're talking about 70/30?
73. That would be for leasing or renting equipment such as speakers or any other things for special events that the recreation center would need. You are correct, we do have an intergovernmental agreement with them. I will make sure that we are following that intergovernmental agreement in terms of sharing of costs for supplies at the recreation center.
Thank you.
Under the same department, recreation, item number 6130, small equipment, we've got $10,000. Is there anticipated purchases, or what would they be?
Yes, that is for a number of individual purchases. I sat down with Bob Jackson with the John D. Recreation Center, and we went over a number of different items that he would like to purchase to better program the space, such as a television for the seniors as they're coming in and playing cards. I think there were some soccer nets and other one-time expenses that he really needs over there.
Under account number 425, civil service, just getting clarification, personnel and hiring exams under 6623. Last year we appropriated 30,000, we spent 7,000, we're appropriating 80,000.
Yes, this year we have to run a entry-level police, entry-level firefighter, and fire lieutenant testing process.
So three positions?
3 different testing processes. And the cost for the entry-level police and fire could be variable based off the number of candidates that sit for the exam.
Under the 911 center, telephone 6510, if the 911 center no longer exists, why is the phone bill projected to be higher?
There are still lines that run into the 911 center that then get directed out to both Cook County and to Orland Fire Protection District. We are reviewing that as we speak to see what lines could be cut that are no longer in use or in service, but until we have that analysis done, we don't want to just go cutting lines over there.
Under building department, 450, line 6695, other contractual services, it was 0 last year, 0 actually spent. What's the $41,000 appropriated for?
I believe that's in the budget notes. Okay, that is, yes, for our 1099 employees, we have several employees that were paid as regular employees of the city that are now being transitioned to 1099 employees, contract employees.
Thank you. Under risk management, 480, line 7210, personal injury, civil rights claims. We appropriated 800,000 last year. We spent 9,000. We appropriated 600,000. Is there a projection why if we only spent 9,000? Is there something outstanding that we're appropriating $600,000?
That is for the unknown. That is literally an unknown. I do not know what personal injuries or lawsuits will be coming up this year, and we need to put some number in there in case of those instances.
I just think it's a pretty high unknown number if we only spent 9,000 last year.
And we did reduce it from 2017 from 800,000 down to 600,000. We lucked out last year.
Go ahead.
Account number 490, planning department, and these kind of go on hand in hand in marketing. We're cutting the budgets in both the planning and the marketing department. In line 5100 salaries, we're going from, we actually only spent 39,000 last year, we're going to 0. No full-time salaries at all in the planning department. Are we not planning going to hire anybody for the planning department?
What we're doing is we're advertising right now for the development manager, which is a combination building code official and planner, is what we're advertising for. And that is in the building department because that's where this individual will be housed.
So the salaries in the, continuing on with the same question, the appropriation for salaries full-time, $95,500. We spent 101. We're appropriating 110.
Which account number are we in? I'm sorry.
450, 5,100 in the building department. They really, I didn't highlight it because it looks like it's just increased just within the following year. But if you're saying we're planning to hire somebody, the salaries don't really go much above just average increases every year in that department. So are we eliminating somebody and rehiring them in that same position?
We did eliminate our building code official, and now we are advertising for the development manager, which is again that hybrid.
Would be hybrid. So that would be around the same salary that person was
I
making?
think it's slightly a little bit more because of the added planning capacity of that individual.
Since I combined it with planning and marketing, same thing goes for the marketing, we're cutting the budget there. However, there's a question I have for 6620 under marketing, under 185. Professional consultation for $40,000, that wasn't there last year. What's the reasoning behind that?
That is for, what I'd like to do is a couple different studies. I'd like to put together a 5-year marketing plan for the city, which would spell out specific tasks that the city would undertake to attract new businesses, to attract residents to the community, as well as using professional consulting to assist us with obtaining those goals.
And same thing with the 70-60 advertising and marketing right underneath that, 5,000, 25,000?
Again, that also has to do with different advertising and marketing things that could be potentially part of this marketing plan.
So how much is the salary for that, for the new position?
Right now, I believe we're advertising at $67,500.
Alderman Snyder.
Under the marketing, 7510, they have a grant match. Is that the only department that applies for grants? Does the fire department, police, or by EMA apply for grants?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
And since we don't know what grants are going to be coming in and when they're coming out,
Have they applied? It's March 13th. Has anybody applied for anything?
Not that I'm aware of. We do get daily updates on grants that are available, and those are sent to our departments to see if anything would go along with their operations.
Alderman Beer.
So under Exhibit A for our revenues,
Yes.
are the revenues for the 14 suggested raises, are they in here?
No.
No. And we're still over?
$3.5 million over, yes.
Alderman Lamont.
Under water department, count 520, the salaries under 5,200 part-time, we're going from 70,000 to 7,000. So we're, I'm assuming not hiring any part-time employees anymore in the water department. 5,200 salaries part-time, 70,000 to 7,000.
I'm going to have to defer to Jim. I do know that we talked about this during our budget prep. We do have part-time employees. Oh, that's what it is. Some of our part-time employees are also in the general public works. So anytime that they are spent working on non-water related projects, they're being charged to the public works account. Anytime that they are working on water related projects, it is charged to the water account.
Thank you. You could ask them.
What?
One was made full-time last year.
Hey, maybe I missed it. Under the mayor's office, you've got a new full-time salary of $52,700.
That is not a new full-time salary. That is moving someone who is in general administration over to the mayor's office where they're currently housed.
Alderman Left.
Under Water Department 520, 6650. Maintenance repair outside contractors. We spent last year $249,000. We're increasing it to $798,000.
Yes, we have $400,000 worth of water vault repairs and improvements that will, the main water line that comes from the city of Chicago into Blue Island has $400,000 worth of repairs and replacements for pumps, for meters, for the physical vault itself.
Thank you. Under the business district, under account 400, 8350. I just want to say I'm happy to see that. Moving on.
Want to repeat that so everybody can hear?
There's a line item in there. I'm just trying to lighten the mood a little bit. I got more though. Golf course, 550, count 550. You already answered 5100 for me. Couple of these I can probably roll while doing. 6105, building maintenance and repair. We spent 2,500. We're projecting 12,000. What's that for?
I'm sorry, let me catch up.
6105.
Building, okay. There are shingles falling off the roof at the golf course. There is a hole in the golf cart shed that needs to be repaired. There's a fence that needs to be replaced. There are various things that need to be repaired over at the golf course.
All right. Thank you.
And I could get you the itemized one if you'd like.
All right. Other stuff needs to be done.
I'm still waiting on the follow-up for the city official expense 5530.
For
the 1,200, what's that going to go towards?
Can I get back to you tomorrow on that to make sure I give you the correct information?
Sure. That's fine. That's fair.
Alderman Left.
On 6652, same golf course account. Parking lot maintenance, 5,000, 40,000. We didn't spend anything last year. We're appropriating 40,000. What's that for?
The north lot, there is no north lot. It needs to be ground down and redone.
All right, then going hand in hand with that, 80/30 improvements in buildings and grounds. We didn't spend anything last year, $30,000.
Again, there are
Dumpster enclosure, the roof lights, purchase of more equipment.
dumpster enclosure, roof lighting, purchase of equipment.
And overall, we're increasing the appropriation from what we spent last year, $815,000 to $1.4 million for the golf course.
Well, the appropriations for 17 was $1,100,000. It is going up to 1.3. Yes. Again, some of that is salaries.
I saw, yes, right. I had that highlighted. I'll ask that right now.
We are appropriating for water.
Yeah, I see that appropriated for $65,000. My other question for that, since I glanced over that, as you see, it was highlighted. How much should we spend on water roughly for the golf course?
I don't have that figure in front of me. I want to say,
I don't know exactly what it is. I know there was on the audit, there was a due from for water expense last year.
Did I ask this question?
I just know that on last year's audit, 16 audit, there was due from the golf course to the water department for water bill that was on the books.
All right, because I heard a number cost around $30,000 some dollars. The water was costing. I don't know where it came from, but you don't have no official number.
I do know that we have 3 meters at the golf course. We can pull those facts and figures and get that information.
Thank you.
Under the mayor's office, reviews and memberships, we allocated 14,000 last year, we only spent 6,000. Now I've got it at 17,500. Are we anticipating a new bunch of magazines or?
No, that is for dues and memberships in the SSMMA, the Southland Economic Development Corporation, as well as the Southwest Conference. We have been holding from paying those dues in 2017 because we didn't have the funds, and this year we are going to be paying our dues for those.
Hey, Mayor.
We were past due on those dues?
I believe on some of them we were past it.
And they're the ones that gets the money for a lot of these projects. Southwest Conference of Mayors, not the other ones. So I'm going to give them credit for everything. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. So Mike, under 402 Finance Department, again, for line 7075 meetings and seminars, it went up. I don't know, not a lot of money, but it went up. Do you plan on going to a lot of meetings and seminars?
We talked, we'd like to go to Illinois Government Finance Association meetings and seminars. I'd also like to send Lori to a training that she had mentioned she'd like to attend.
Does this include out-of-state travel at all?
This does not include out-of-state. This is all in-state.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yes, may I make a comment? On February 20th, Mr. Marzell held a appropriation workshop. If the aldermen had attended this workshop, all of these questions would have been answered.
It said finance workshop.
What?
On the agenda, it had said finance workshop.
No, it did not. It said appropriation workshop.
Could I make a comment to your comment? We're asking these questions for our residents who are sitting here today. Perhaps on February 20th, they could not attend the workshop.
The residents there were residents at the February
Yes, but
20th meeting.
there's quite a few residents here right
Well,
now.
then maybe we should have another meeting so that other residents could attend.
That would be good.
There's a motion. Is there a second? All in favor?
Motion by us, second by Holly.
Go ahead.
Why are we going back to the wish list appropriation from back in the day when it took us so long for us to change that style of budgeting?
Actually, we have whittled it down. I agree that I would like to get to a strictly budget-driven with a balanced budget. Unfortunately, I was brought in December and had limited time to prepare.
We were in the black last year when we did our appropriation, according to Mr. Kasparik's audit.
That was for the 2016 fiscal year. We have not received the 2017 audit. I'm hoping that that is again in the black. And as I stated at the beginning, we will control our expenses throughout the year to make sure that we come in fiscally responsible.
Alderman Hawley, do you agree with the going back to the wish list method of budgeting? You were on the finance committee back then.
I too would like to wish it was a little bit closer, but at this point, there's something that's due on March 31st. I am encouraged that we did have this forum here, because we have not had such a forum in about 3 years. So this was very good. I am glad that everyone was able to ask their questions, and they got answered. I do think there are a lot of open things, but if you do look at last year's appropriation, it was fairly high, and then the actuals come in a little bit lower. So, are coming quite a bit lower. A lot of it gets made up in the, thankfully or hopefully, in the legal area, where our expenditures haven't been what we appropriated for, but there are some things that are outstanding, and it has always been a huge budget.
We have a motion, but go ahead.
I have a follow-up to that. This forum, this is city council. We voted on this every year I've been on this, and so have you, Tom. So I think it's very disingenuous for you to say that this forum hasn't happened when we voted on an appropriation every time.
I was talking about the workshop. You know, we've had the committee of the whole since 1 or 2 years, right after 13 and 14, and then there's been nothing. We were presented with this at the at city council. It went through finance, and
Alderman?
Mike, do you have a projection of when we will go for a budget? You know what I'm saying? If we, have a lot of leaks and things of this nature, in your house, you would probably budget and not appropriate.
I would like to have a balanced budget presented for 2019.
For 2019?
That's what I would like to do.
And to my other part of the question is, do you foresee us at any time soon to have a forensic audit?
I know that's been brought up prior to me coming on to...
I've been doing it for 9 years. I'm asking the same question, and nobody has given me a flat answer.
I don't know the whole history there. I will look into it.
Okay.
And
That's the same answer he's gotten for 9 years.
Roll call, please.
Donahue?
No.
Donahue, no. Hawley?
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Osling?
Aye.
Osling, aye. Thompson? Thompson, aye. Carr?
No.
Carr, no. Pittman?
No.
Pittman, no. Slattery?
No.
Slattery, no. Poulos?
No.
Poulos, no. Johnson?
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Fausto?
No.
Fausto, no. Bellato?
No.
Bellato, no. Vieta? Vieta, aye. Rita?
No, I'm voting no because this is not a balanced budget and it will require significant increases to our residents. Both me and Kevin, Alderman Donahue, who represent the 3rd Ward, and the 3rd Ward constituents cannot afford this.
5 ayes and 8 noes, Your Honor.
And I vote. Aye.
What?
Next, public health and safety.
Alderman, you have no appropriation. You have until the end of this month to adopt an appropriation. So you have one additional meeting that's regularly scheduled, or you can have a special meeting. However, you must pass an appropriation of some sort and have it on file in the office of the county clerk by the end of the month to be in compliance with the law. So you can either have a committee meeting of some sort and make proposals and then have a new ordinance prepared, or come up with an alternative ordinance, but you must have an appropriation ready to be filed before the end of the month to be in compliance with state statute.
Thank you very much. Or we stay here all night.
I think that's a good idea. We should stay here until the aldermen decide on proper appropriations.
Hammer out a budget.
Mayor, I motion we adjourn the meeting.
I second that.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, I didn't hear your motion.
I have made a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Why would you adjourn the meeting?
Because we need time to look at this. There's a lot of numbers.
Excuse me, where were you on February 20th?
I have questions, and I wanted them answered here.
The motion to adjourn the meeting at this point is out of order. There is still additional business.
Motion to overrule the chair.
The motion to adjourn the meeting at this time is out of order. There's additional business and additional items on the agenda to be discussed. If after the agenda is completed, you want to make a motion to adjourn, I would ask you to give me the courtesy of at least asking you to go into a closed session so I can report on the status of pending litigation. And again, I tell you that at some point in time between now and the end of the month, you are required to pass an appropriation in order to authorize spending going on into the future. If you fail to do though, you jeopardize the financial stability of the city.
So let's move on to public health and safety.
Wait.
Go ahead.
I'm still... Okay. Committee denied the request to reduce sewer fee for Musket Corporation located at 3415 127th Street a letter will be sent out to the corporation. Recommendation made by committee to enter into agreement with Lockmere Engineering for inspection of the Division Street Bridge. This will be forwarded to municipal for approval. Discussion on the following: consideration of the places of eating and consideration to adjust the Metra Daily parking lots by 25 cents. There was no further business. Meeting adjourned at 8:30. Our next meeting will be, I hope, the 22nd. Can the committee make that? That's Thursday. Because of the voting, we can't meet on Tuesday.
So the 22nd.
So is that all right with the committee? The 22nd? Okay, so
What time?
7 o'clock, 22nd of March.
Thank you very much. Public Health and Safety Committee?
Yes, Your Honor. First, I'd like to say that it's with great sadness that I learned that Michael Cornell would be stepping down as deputy chief. Since the day I met him, he has been a friend to me. He has been a friend to all of us on the council. He's been honest, kind, and generous. He has helped all of us with any problems or complaints we may have had. It is said that we should be judged on the content of our character. I have never found him to be lacking in loyalty, dedication, and commitment to the city of Blue Island. He has freely donated countless hours of his personal time to parades, fireworks, and community events of all kinds. During the last 5 years with Michael Cornell as deputy chief, our crime rate has dropped. I credit this to the community policing unit and the walk and talk program, which Mike Cornell instituted. He has made certain that our officers are some of the best trained and most professional officers in the state of Illinois. And because of this, in the last 5 years, to the best of my knowledge, there has not been one new civilian case filed against the police department. He worked to change the scheduling of officers so that we have more officers on the street at a lower cost to the city. While we may have had a vacancy on our roster, we do not have a vacancy in experience, leadership, or dedication. And I just wanted to say thank you to him, although he's not here tonight. Minutes from the Public Health and Safety meeting of February the 13th. Present were Chief LaSalle King, Deputy Chief Michael Cornell, Chief Dan Rita, Alderman Ken Pittman, Alderman George Poulos, Jim McGeever, and myself. Absent were Alderman Kevin Donahue and Alderman Dexter Johnson. The meeting was called to order at 6 p.m. There was a motion to approve the minutes of the December meeting. I'm sorry. By Alderman Pittman, second by Alderman Poulos, motion carried. There were no citizens' concerns. Under the fire department, there was 230 EMS responses, 89 fire responses, 37 auto aid responses, 1 mutual aid response. Medical reimbursement services collected $46,765.21 in the month of January, and fire recovery received in January was $396. Under calls of interest, there's a kitchen fire at 1900 Canal, a house fire at 12339 Honoré in Calumet Park, an apartment fire at 2069 West 135th Place, and a house fire at 2204 Prairie. Under general information, probationary firefighter McCool was sworn in. 2 members were injured on shift. Both were minor injuries, and they are both back to work. Union negotiations are ongoing. Under maintenance, truck 2104 is back in service. Engine 2123 is out of service for a coolant leak and some other issues, and it will be pump tested while out. The 2100 Ford Explorer blew out a tire which was replaced and a new battery was installed. Inspectors spent a month conducting annual inspections and plan reviews. A schedule was put together for fire prevention staff working on compliance engine and computer programs to ensure we are collecting money owed to us. Under training, members completed 521 hours of training in the month of January, and the fire department planned CPR classes for the police department. Under operations, an operational plan developed with input from the 3 lieutenants. Standard operating procedures were being developed and assigned to each member. All old general orders have been rescinded and a new format rolled out. The Mavis 22 box cards were completed and sent to Mavis 22 for review. Under Police Department, a new organizational chart was drafted. The proposal is within the 2018 appropriations. A means of evaluating officer production or time management was developed and is currently being tested within the patrol division. Officer Nick Babbitt was pulled from our patrol units and is currently working with the detective division pending his training for DARE. DARE training is scheduled to begin February 19th. Maintenance was done on our scheduling software to include support services personnel. The equipment inventory is nearly complete. CCSP dispatch includes a mass notification system similar to Code Red. The system is included with the intergovernmental agreement. Chief King would like all the aldermen to schedule a meeting to discuss issues within the respective boards. Under training, Sergeant Kevin Sisk attended 8 hours of training with the FBI for sport security. Corporal Bernadine Arzab attended 16 hours of training for internal affairs and professional standards. Officer Babbitt, Rhodes, and Martino each attended 16 hours of training for breath alcohol testing. Officer Stone attended 8 hours of training for crime scene processing. Officer McSweeney attended 40 hours of training for crisis intervention. AED training is scheduled for the Blue Island Police Department officers on 217 and 224. And Clerk Crofton attended 4 hours of training for juvenile records management. Under equipment, the Motorola XTS 5000 will not be serviceable after December 2018. Options for 2019 are being explored. Our Taser X26 electronic control devices will not be serviceable after December 2018. Options for 2019 are being explored. A total of 2,337 calls were serviced in January. Under cases of interest, on Monday, February 5th, the Blue Island Police Department responded to 2049 West 35th Place for a report of a gunshot victim. On arrival, the police department located the victim on the front room floor. The victim was treated by the Blue Island Fire Department and transported to Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn. During the on-scene investigation, the police department learned that the offender was inside the apartment directly across from the victim's apartment. The offender was located and arrested. While canvassing the immediate crime scene area, officers located the weapon suspected to have been used during the shooting. The investigation resulted in the offender being charged with various felony charges to include attempted murder. Under the rave presentation, Jim McGeever gave a presentation of the new rave system, which will be replacing Code Red. Baima did not attend the meeting. The next meeting was actually held tonight. And our next meeting after thanks, I believe, is April the 10th.
All right, thank you very much. Municipal Services Committee?
No report, Your Honor. Municipal Services Committee will meet on Tuesday, March 27, 2018 at 6 p.m. here in the East Annex.
Thank you very much. Judiciary Committee? No report? Any automatic announcements or comments? Go ahead, Alderman Dick.
I would just like to congratulate our colleague Fred Bolano, who was chosen as the Blue Island Chamber of Commerce Man of the Year.
Yes, I would like to give a shout out to our Eisenhower DDE students out there in the audience, and we appreciate you coming and showing your beautiful faces.
Turn on your mic.
A little bit of frustration going on and a little bit going back and forth with the process. I think overall, the past 3 years, it's been a good process. It can always continue to get better. I believe last year we went through 2 rounds of appropriation reviews. And it was usually through the finance department. We would go through it, you know, we'd go through it. This time it was that one workshop on the 20th. And you threw out there twice that if you would have been here, you know, we could have got it done. You know, sometimes some of us do have other obligations that conflict with their schedule, Jan. I can't speak for everybody else. I wasn't there, but it could be a work-related conflict, it can be a personal-related conflict. So I can't speak for anybody else, but there's reasons that I wasn't there. And I personally, I'm really not far off. I did vote on no one this tonight. I'm really not far off on the numbers here. And we have time to make this happen by next city council. I think, what's the deadline for this? August?
March 35, in the office of the county clerk by the end of the month.
Sure, end of the month. Our next city council is 3/27, right?
Right.
So.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Our next city council will be on the 27th.
March 27th.
So I think there's ample time for all of us to continue reviewing it and making this happen. I certainly think some of the revenue enhancing items that are being looked at, you know, I've mentioned finance, you know, I'm not for. And I know water's a hot discussion here tonight, and you know, water rates are going to continue going up because it's the city of Chicago raising the water rates on us, and it's been absorbed for many years, and you know, we're just at that point where, you know, the city can't continue absorbing the cost that the city's putting on us, and not for many years it has not been passed on to our residents, and that's just a tough decision that has to be looked at.
If I can just interrupt just very briefly, there is another increase coming in June.
I'm aware that's what I'm.
Chicago is giving us another increase coming in June.
So, you know, just throwing that out there that, you know, it's not us, you know, throwing this onto the residents. It's a good old Chicago machine looking for ways for them to nickel and dime people, and that's what we happen to be one of those towns that are going to continue to get nickel and dime. After long, we're long gone. So that's all I want to mention. That, you know, I'm not too far from this. We can certainly hash this out, and we'll get there. You know.
Okay, all right. My only frustration is that on the 20th, we had all the department heads, we had Dave Meyer, the CPA, and I understand that you know, some people cannot make meetings for whatever reason, but there were 9 aldermen that chose, I feel, not to attend this meeting, and that's sad. We had all the people there that could have answered all your questions, we could have gone over this, and we could have it ready for approval.
I'm going to answer why I didn't go.
Ladies first.
I did have I apologize, Jan, I did have a personal commitment that night. I could not make it.
Thank you, Mayor. So the reason I didn't go, the last time we did a budget or we did a workshop together with the finance department, we worked 2-3 hours, we came to an agreement, and then at city council, then that agreement was thrown out the window, and there was an amendment attached to it, which wasn't agreed upon, and it was changed. So I felt my time was wasted, and I didn't want it. There's no trust. I did not trust the process the first time we did it, and was worried it was going to happen again. So I wanted to have my questions answered in an open forum, as it was today, and we could hash it out again today. I've already cut, going right now, $500,000. There's more we could do.
We had an open forum.
But we did, but the reason we had an agreement that one time, you guys changed your mind and tried to do something else after we agreed. So that's what I said. I felt betrayed, and I did not want to go through that again.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
Anybody else?
I think the meeting on the 20th was sent to us as an informational meeting. If everyone should have been there, it should have been called a committee of the whole.
Not necessarily.
Oh.
Is any, one more, go ahead.
I agree with, we can hash this out tonight. We're already here. I've gone through like Alderman Donahue, I'm sure mine are different than his, but we're looking at $3.5 million. We can cut $3.5 million out of here. I just did it right here. A lot of these are contingencies. Fire trucks is $1.8 million alone. We can cut it and make it a balanced budget if you want to sit here and hash it out.
Do it.
You know?
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Chief. It's not a funny thing.
Chief, I just want to make a comment. Mr. Mozell was just talking about even finding different ways of increasing our revenue. One was the golf course. We talk about 3.5 million. We look at this golf course for over 20-some years. We ain't been making no money, period.
And as I told you, Alderman, even before anybody got up this afternoon, this evening to speak, it's already been on the radar.
I know, and I know that, but I'm just saying that, I'm an over-the-road driver. So, I try to make it. Every time I make a meeting, it's 2 days I miss out my paycheck, which I do not care because I stood up and I wanted to do something for this city. So we get paid to do what we do. So, my thing is if I can allot 2 days off the road, I think somebody else can too. And I apologize the reason why I wasn't there, Jan, because I was broke down, okay, in another state.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? If not, let's get to, we have the motion to retire to closed session. The motion. Alderman Donahue, you have a second? Alderman Rita, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Let's go.
Sit back down.
Need a motion to reconvene regular session. Alderman Kuhl, second Alderman Carr.
Donahue. Ollie. Here. Osling. Thompson. Carr. Goodman. Slattery. Pulos. Here. Johnson. Present. Rosso.
Here.
Lotto. Here. Gata.
Here.
Yes, in the closed session, there was a discussion of pending litigation in 3 matters. Allen versus Metra, the city of Blue Island, and Robbins. That report was that the claims against the city have now been dismissed in their entirety, and the city is no longer a defendant in the case. There was also a report on pending litigation in the case of Thomas versus the city of Blue Island. That matter is still pending. Certain portions of the claim were recently dismissed. And then finally, there was just a brief discussion of a case that's presently pending, Davidson versus the city of Blue Island. Certain questions were asked and answered. No final action was taken with respect to any of the lawsuits.
Thank you. Number 11 is a motion for adjournment. Motion, Alderman Pittman, second Alderman Fausto. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?